They arrived again in Jerusalem, and while Jesus was walking in the temple courts, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders came to him. "By what authority are you doing these things?" they asked. "And who gave you authority to do this?" Jesus replied, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, was it from heaven or of human origin? Tell me." They discussed it among themselves and said, "If we say from heaven, he will ask, 'Then why didn't you believe him?' But if we say of human origin—" They feared the people, for everyone held that John really was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." Jesus said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things."
Mark chapter 11 verses 27 to 33. I'm standing in the parish of South Bersted on Hawthorne Road outside the famous Turner's Pies. The family started making pies in Bognor in 1933, supplying various places, and they opened their first shop here on Hawthorne Road in 1990. They went on to set up one in Rustington and more recently in Chichester. They are award-winning, and Melton Mowbray is the place where it all happens, and they have won various awards. Just last year, 2020, they were Pie of Pies, and they even stock their pies in Harrods. Well, on their website they have apparently various questions that people ask about their pies, and they have kindly answered them. There are frequently answered questions. Let me tell you about some of them. So people have asked, and let's see if you know the answers. What are the cooking instructions for a Turner's pie? That's a good question. For best results, in the middle of the oven, preheated, gas mark 4, 180 degrees C, 25 minutes for small pies, 35 minutes for large pies. Or how about this one? Can I freeze my pies? Our pies are baked fresh daily and can be frozen for up to 6 months. Or how about this one? How long can my pie be kept in the fridge? Our pies are made fresh the day you purchase them, so they'll be in top condition, but you can in your fridge for 4 days, including the day of purchase. Well, I can assure you that no Turner's pie has ever lasted for 4 days in our fridge. What about the different symbols on top of the pies? Well, this gets a little bit more complicated. So they have a symbol of, here we are. Let me just turn it up. Oh yeah, a leaf, chicken and ham. Haven't quite worked that one out yet. A 0, steak and Stilton pie. The X, steak and ale pie. The S, steak and kidney pie. A little bow, turkey and cranberry, and an M is mince. In today's passage, we are thinking about the question that Jesus asked and answered. You know, there was a real question about Jesus' authority, and any kind of catering establishment can only run by the authority of the local authority. The Food Standards Agency works in partnership with the local authority, and they publish their scores on the doors. Let me just tell you what this one here is. So the scores on the doors here for the food hygiene rating for Turner's Pies, just down here, is, yes, it's 5 out of 5. It's all good. It's no problems at all. But the Food Standards Agency works in collaboration with the local authority. Jesus' authority is being questioned in our passage today. The Sanhedrin, which is the combination of the rulers, the Jewish leaders, are asking Jesus, by what authority do you do these things? Well, it's a fair enough question, but it's a trap for Jesus. So he does a very rabbinical thing. He answers a question with a question. Apparently that's something that they still do today. In fact, recently one Jewish rabbi was asked, why do you always answer a question with a question? To which he said, what do you mean? Well, Jesus goes back to John the Baptist, and there's been lots of links in Mark's Gospel to John the Baptist, as there is in the other Gospels. And Jesus says, John's baptism, was it from heaven or was it human? Now, it's a very clever way of answering the question. You can't get away with this always, because actually sometimes in answering a question with a question is just frustrating. But they don't know how to handle it, partly because of the crowds that actually were in favour of John, and the link between Jesus and John, because Jesus himself was baptised by John, and therefore there is a very clear link. What you think about Jesus will be determined by what you think about John, and vice versa. So Jesus manages to buy some time, doesn't answer the question directly, but is very shrewd and canny in how he handles these authorities. Father, thank you so much that Jesus is in control, and may I understand more about his authority, the rightful status he has as your son. Amen.